Alright, this video I'm going to say that I am not a real martial artist. This is what I was thinking about today. And I want to explain why I want to say that. Earlier somebody sent me an email saying that, hey, that there's some martial arts program with the hospitals and, they're going to have people go through like a 9-hour training course to be certified in some type of martial arts credential to help kids that are disabled or mentally challenged, whatever the case may be. I just think that the martial arts profession and the martial arts in general is very much abused and not properly regulated, in which to put any meaning into these types of certifications and black belts or whatever the case may be. And my thing is, I think there should be a very high standard for the martial arts. Very high, kind of like what they have for the Olympics. There's only one winner, for like the 100-meter dash, for example, Usain Bolt, and that's it. There's not 50,000 winners of gold medals of the same event, of the same, activity, the same competition. There's only one, and I think if there's going to be any meaning to the martial arts, we need to put a high standard to what it really means to be a martial artist. And to me, Bruce Lee has always served to be that standard for me, who represented the martial arts, body, mind, and spirit. And the way that I see it is that you can only be considered a real martial artist, after you die. Because it's a lifestyle. It's not something that you just do for a couple years, or even 10 years, or even 20 years, or even 30 years. It's a lifestyle. It's in your entire life you need to represent the martial arts. So if somebody practiced martial arts from the age of, or say he grew up in a martial arts family, he practiced until the age of 30, and then he gave up and he retired at the age of 30, and then he died at the age of 100. So then for 30 years he was living the martial lifestyle, but then for 60 years he was not. So that, to me, wouldn't be considered a martial artist. A real martial artist is somebody who lives and dies by the way of the martial arts. So like the Bruce Lee, who got into the martial arts and kept practicing it until he died. That is representing the real martial arts. So if the person is not dead yet, you can't assess his future. You can only assess his past, and his present, but you can't assess his overall life. And in order to represent it properly, you need to represent his overall life, and you need to see his entire life and whether or not he was living the martial way. So that's why I say that I am not a real martial artist, is because, I'm still living, and I still want to represent the real martial arts in its entirety. So even though I've been training for so long, even though I feel that I'm representing it at this current moment, it doesn't mean that I'll be representing it in the future. And then also puts me in a position where you constantly strive to better yourself, and it's something that's not, achievable, where you achieve something and then there's nothing else. This is something where you got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it until you die, until your last breath. So I'm at 35 now. When I'm 50, I still got to be doing it. When I'm 70, still doing it. When I'm 90, still doing it. 100, still doing it. Representing it for your entire life. And that's what it means to me to represent the real martial arts. Something so hard to achieve that, it sets a standard that very few people can represent. And there's a lot of great athletes you know, but a lot of them work hard for a period of time and then they give up. To me, the martial artist, he doesn't give up. He just keeps training and representing until death. And that could only be assessed after his death. You know, so, you know, using Bruce Lee as an example, we should all strive to achieve that level and potentially go beyond within our own lives. And that's how I really feel about it. You know, it's to the opposite of what's going on, where everybody claims themselves to be a martial artist, everybody claims themselves to have a black belt, everybody claims, you know, that they've mastered it, but very few people, you know, in reality are representing the martial arts to the fullest, you know, for the entirety of their lives. You know, and also take note that the earlier you die, the easier it would be to represent the martial arts. You know, because if you die at the age of 32, then you only need to represent it for 32 years. But if you die at the age of 70, you got to represent it for 70 years. You die at the age of 90, you got to represent it until you're 90 years old. You know, so the longer you live, the harder it be. You know, and you should be representing health, you know, fitness, representing intelligence, representing spirituality and meditation, you know, representing everything. You know, and that's the type of standard that I feel that we should live up to. And that's the standard that I wish to live up to. And even though I'm not a real martial artist, because I'm still living at this moment, you know, I'll assist the people of whom I can assist in their development, of whom value, you know, my teachings for where I'm at. You know, we're all progressing. You know, not just the people that I'm teaching, but also myself. And we're all progressing at different levels. And I just so happen to enjoy helping people along their path, along their way in the journey. You know, it's a lifelong journey. It's a way of life. You know, that's the way that I see it.